Hey everybody, this is Francesco Abbruzzino with the Rogue Rant, and today I want to talk about the Zika virus, possible connection with GM mosquitoes, and then the release of GM mosquitoes into the Keys. You had the first case of Zika appearing in humans down in the Americas last May. Now up to 1.5 million people are affected by this virus. And this is the same area, coincidentally, that they released GM mosquitoes in at the same time. And since this outbreak, we've had over 4,000 cases of babies born with microcephalia in Brazil. And various other causes could be attributed to this, but it is pretty coincidental. And it's also the same mosquito that's spreading it as the GM mosquito, the Aedes mosquito. It's a subspecies that carries the Zika virus and the Dengue virus. Oxitec has targeted them with this GM mosquito. The aim is to take this GM program and release as many male Aedes mosquitoes into the wild, and they would in turn produce offspring that carry female body parts with this virus. The offspring would go out there and spread, but before breeding age, GM coding will say, hey, it's time to die and terminate that mosquito. But there's one kick. There's a catch here. There can't be any tetracycline around, which there was in Brazil, folks. There was in Brazil. It sounded like a little bit of a plot here, isn't it? A bit of a plot. You got millions of GM mosquitoes being released. They soon will be here in Florida. The biotech Oxitec is really pushing it. They're out there saying, hey, we need this. We need to stop the spread of tropical disease in Florida. I personally didn't realize it was an issue in Florida. Now they claim people like me that are opposing it are just fearmongers because we're opposed genetically modified food. We oppose genetically modified animals. My concern is what happens if one of these bite into you? What if you get a bite from one of these mosquitoes? Will you get Zika like these people? Will you? That's the question. There's not enough research. In this industry, the release of these general mosquitoes is not being monitored. There's no regulation on it. If you think about it, they're releasing millions of mosquitoes out there. And you could get thousands of bites. And you got these genetically modified mosquitoes. There's 50 to 100 million being released. What will be the environmental health impact? What about the synthetic DNA from the bites? Who's tracking this stuff and how exactly are they tracking it? Are we to assume everything's okay because this company, Oxitec, says everything's fine? WHO says everything's fine. CDC says everything's fine. We're coming out with a virus, or a vaccine, a vaccine to fix this virus. And the potential exists for these genes which hop from place to place, from one person to another, to infect human blood. Through skin lesions, through inhaled dust possibly. Who knows? These transmissions could potentially wreak havoc on the human genome by creating some kind of mutation. And this is alarming that nobody's hearing about it. These GM mosquitoes, they could have unintended and wide-ranging impacts on our environment, folks. On our human health, as we're possibly seeing the Zika virus. And it's due to the complexity of the ecosystem and a bunch of unknown factors. Was a risk assessment done? I don't know. I don't think so. What are your thoughts on this development? You would think this would be big news, but major media really hasn't covered it. I've been covering it for months on my uncensored report. There's so many concerns and questions that have been left unanswered that must be answered before they release this GM mosquito here in the United States, in the Keys, and cause further pandemic like we're seeing down in South America or in the Americas. Everybody have a great day. This has been Francesco Abbruzzino with the Rogue Rant.